with the Mangalacharan. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Svapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sahadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Dehivam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindabaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebho Vaishnavebho Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We are now on Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 29. Ascharyavat pasyati kaschidena ascharyavat vadati tataiva chanya ascharyavat chaina manya shnoti srutvatpi enam vedana chaiva kaschit. Some look on the soul as amazing. Some describe him as amazing, and some hear of him as amazing, while others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all. Purport. Since Gita Upanishad is largely based on the principles of the Upanishads, it is not surprising to also find this passage in the Katha Upanishad. Shravanayapi bahubhir yo na labhai srinvanto pi bahavo ya na vidyu ascharyo vakta kusalo sya labdha ascharyo gnata kusala nusista. The fact that the atomic soul is within the body of a gigantic animal, in the body of a gigantic banyan tree, and also in the microscopic germs, millions and billions of which occupy only an inch of space, is certainly very amazing. Men with a poor fund of knowledge and men who are not austere cannot understand the wonders of the individual atomic spark of spirit, even though it is explained by the greatest authority of knowledge, who imparted lessons even to Brahma, the first living being in the universe. Owing to a gross material conception of things, most men in this age cannot imagine how such a small particle can become both so great and so small. So men look at the soul proper as wonderful, either by constitution or by description. Illusioned by the material energy, people are so engrossed in the subject matter for sense gratification that they have very little time to understand the question of self-understanding, even though it is a fact that without this self-understanding, all activities result in ultimate defeat in the struggle for existence. Perhaps one has no idea that one must think of the soul and also make a solution of the material miseries. Some people who are inclined to hear about the soul may be attending lectures in good association, but sometimes owing to ignorance, they are misguided by acceptance of the supersoul and the atomic soul as one without distinction of magnitude. It is very difficult to find a man who perfectly understands the position of the soul, the supersoul, the atomic soul, their respective functions, relationships, and all other major and minor details. And it is still more difficult to find a man who has actually derived full benefit from knowledge of the soul, and who is able to describe the position of the soul in different aspects. But if somehow or other one is able to understand the subject matter of the soul, then one's life is successful. The easiest process for understanding the subject matter of self, however, is to accept the statements of the Bhagavad Gita spoken by the greatest authority, Lord Krishna, without being deviated by other theories. But it also requires a great deal of penance and sacrifice, either in this life or in the previous ones, before one is able to accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna can, however, be known as such by the causeless mercy of the pure devotee and by no other way. End of purport.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. It's not just voluminous, but it's actually, there's a lot being said over here.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that struck me here, when it says, and it is still more difficult to find a man who has actually derived full benefit from knowledge of the soul, and who was able to describe the position of the soul in different aspects. So, I mean, what this is telling me is like, you can learn what's being said here, but can you put it to practice?
Mm-hmm.
Can you really imbibe
really
it?
grasp it?
Yeah, and live by it, actually. So, and also, Krishna can be known as such by the causeless mercy of the pure devotee. So, actually, there are two ways we can do that. There's Vani association and Vapu association. So you have the Vani association. That's what we're doing right now. We are studying Prabhupada's words through his books. So we're getting the association of the Mahabhagavad devotee through books.
So what does Vani actually mean? What's the definition of
Vani? Yeah, does that sound right? Teaching.
Teacher?
Yeah.
Teaching.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Do you have another pen? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the teachings, I mean, they don't have to be in a book. They can be in any media, actually. They could be like computer, or they could be passed down verbally. There are many ways you can get those teachings. But and then the Vapu association is, okay, so Vani is V-A-N-I, if you're taking notes.
Yep.
Vapu is V-A-P-U-H. And that Vapu means when you have the association of the pure devotee directly, like you have actually met that person in person. So there's a verse in a book called the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and that it's in Madhya Lila, chapter 22, verse 54. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Koi, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Even having the association of the pure devotee for one moment, one attains all success. 1 moment is equal to, Lava Matra is 1/11 of a second. So it's not even like you don't even have to, I mean, you get benefit by actually interacting, but just having that association in person will just totally, it will change your life forever. And one example, I'm sure, I don't know if I've told all of you, I think I have, my mother actually had darshan of Srila Prabhupada in the 1960s. So she never joined, but I mean, I'm not saying I'm like a great devotee or anything. I consider myself half-assed in a way, but you know.
So you're saying that us
Yeah.
right now,
Mhm.
we're not in association with pure devotees?
No way.
No.
Absolutely not.
A
No
pure
way.
devotee is like someone that's going to blow your mind.
Yes.
That like when they walk in the room, you feel their Shakti.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
Prabhupada he was a small man. He
Yeah.
wasn't. He was probably my size.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
but he would be like Bhima coming into a room with his energy and his
Yeah.
love, you
Mhm.
know, and compassion. And it's very rare to find a pure devotee in this lifetime. Even
Yeah.
advanced gurus, they're not pure devotees, they're still human beings.
Mhm.
Like Keshava Swami was giving a lecture a couple of weeks ago, and he's like, man, I have desires just like you do. And for a sannyasi to say that, like, that's pretty humble.
Yeah.
Because they're always put up on such a pedestal. They're the renounced order, but they're human beings. And it's rare to find, like, I'm sure Krsnacandра's guru was a pure devotee too. Like,
And her guru too.
you have the same guru.
Different gurus.
Oh, you do? Oh, I
but-
thought you had the same. Who's your guru?
Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami.
He's a disciple of Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Maharaj, who was a disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, yeah, there's a few,
Mhm.
but I'm sure as Kali Yuga progresses, like, it's going to shift again. But, yeah,
Mhm.
think of what you think. Think of the mood you think of when you think of Srila Prabhupada. No one else gives you that mood.
Right.
There's no other Bhav like that. There's no other fatherly, deep, I really care about you, I want you to love Krishna, not for me, but so you get liberation. You know, and yeah, like, that's a pure devotee. He came over as an old man, and look what he did.
Yeah.
They have no material desires.
Right.
It's inconceivable. There's this thing called Reflections of Prabhupada. It's on YouTube, and it's all these old Prabhupada disciples telling their stories of their association with Srila Prabhupada.
I'm sorry, you're referring to Prabhupada Memories? Or?
Yeah, Prabhupada Memories.
Yeah.
What is it on? You said you could find it on
YouTube.
Yeah, just Google Prabhupada Memories, and there should be a channel.
It's hours of
And-
devotees.
Actually, my own guru does a 1-hour interview on there.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I sent it to you a while back. I'll put it in the group just so you
post
see it.
again.
Yeah.
So Prabhupada was, the one devotee was talking about how detached from material things Prabhupada was, you know, and people would give him opulent gifts all the time because he was the guru, and the people that had money would buy cashmere or gold or whatever. So I think there was one time where someone gave Prabhupada a watch, and it was like a Rolex or something, and everyone was like, wow, that's right. And then a devotee came in, and he's like, here, you want my watch? And it was just like, who would do that? You know, someone gets a Rolex, they're like,
Right.
look what I got.
Rolex.
Do you see this? You know, and he's just like, here, you want my watch? And they said that, like, he had been given so many things like that over the years, and it was just like a passing, like, thank you for my gift, but here, someone else take it, or take this
No
money and-
material calculation.
at all.
You're seeing the mood that's offered. They accept the mood.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, I get it, yeah, so they're just accepting the
The love
Just
and
like-
it.
what's behind
Yeah.
it, yeah, not the actual piece.
Thing,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments?
No, but I think discussion on the soul
Mhm.
changes as we evolve in our own spirituality, and it is something that people like us talk about, but how many people do you know that don't think about the soul?
Oh yeah.
Like, even your own family members, you know, like,
Mm.
you have to explain this to people. You really do. It's kind of your duty, because if we're going to teach people that we're not the body, well, then what are we? We're Jiva Atma, you know, and so many levels of the soul that it's something to ponder, but it's,
Yeah,
I think,
I think it's very difficult.
Yeah.
I try to have discussions with my son because I feel like he's very intelligent, he's philosophical, he practices other like philosophies and stuff, but
Mhm.
when I bring up the soul, he's like, there is no proof.
Ah.
Where is the proof? If you can give me proof, then I can believe it, you know?
there's so much scientific proof now about the soul, though.
Yeah, there is.
Scientifically, like what I've said before, like when the sperm and the ovum
Yeah,
unite the
spark.
light, and that's one.
I've been
And
thinking about that a lot.
yeah, there's
Incarnation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of documented cases of people people remembering their last lives, even
Yeah.
children.
I know, but I just feel like I'm interested. I want to know all of it, but it's really difficult to, and for me anyway, to try to explain it, because they just like, well, I don't have any physical proof of that.
So does that mean he's also an atheist?
I think he's figuring it out. Like he
Right.
won't label himself
Right.
as anything. But he just drove from Utah to Colorado, so it was like an 8-hour drive and back to Utah. And I was like, please listen to the Mahabharata, on your drive.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
No, and if you don't have that interest, it is so hard to listen
It's
to.
heavy.
Yeah,
It
that's
really
true.
is. There's so much in it.
But I feel like he's the type that would.
You gotta give him like a light podcast that's philosophical.
Right,
You
true.
know, like the Modern Yogi podcast that explains the Bhagavad Gita. It's 3 women in their 40s talking about the Gita, just like we're doing right now. It's a great thing. Or Keshava Swami's, I love him, but
Yeah.
he does do a lot of Gita lectures.
Yes, I know.
You need something easy,
Yeah.
like ooh, it's this.
Well,
makes
I was
sense.
thinking I needed something a little with some fighting and violence and like warrior
That
stuff to get
Yeah.
him
That
interested,
would
because
get him
he's
excited.
into that, Plus,
Yeah.
he's studied pretty heavy philosophical texts and stuff. So,
From which tradition? Stoicism?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I
That's-
thought that he would really get into it, but he won't.
That's actually,
Can't force it.
it's very popular among men nowadays, Stoicism.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
foundation.
Yeah.
What
And
is
it's
it?
very
He'll just get
similar.
bored of it,
That's
and
a good-
then he'll move on to the
I'll
other
look it
thing.
up.
Good
Maybe.
question.
That's
Yeah.
what we pray for.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, like, there are a lot of these self-help videos on YouTube for men that are like, just like go and get into stoicism, don't be attached to like relationships and stuff like that. And it's like, that's like but it's like attachment without like any kind of like real spiritual connection.
But he doesn't realize that he really influenced me.
Mm-hmm.
Cause he would say to me, he would ask me to read stuff that he was reading, and I did, and then we would discuss it, and I feel like I can bring up similar things with this philosophy, but he won't go there, and I don't know why. Maybe it's,
The soul's not ready.
yeah. But I really want him to. 'Cause I
Feed
want
him prasadam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does help.
Yeah.
That's
Very
all you
much.
gotta do. Offer that food and give it to him.
And my
Boom!
I'm sorry.
Oh,
What
it's
were you gonna
okay.
say?
No, it's okay.
Do you offer them prasad? Like, do you offer to Krishna when you feed them?
I haven't really been with them
Yeah.
in that.
There's stealthy ways to go about it.
Yeah.
Makes him
Stealthy
so
ways.
easy.
You know that dried rice Jagannath prasad?
Mhm.
I have a friend that puts that in the grinder, in the blender, and just kind of like doses people.
Microdosing shot him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Look how
Yeah.
long it took you
Right.
to
Yeah.
hear it, or me. I lived my whole life before I could hear this. I
Yeah.
just wasn't,
Yeah.
ready. Some people are born into it and they reject it. Like, it's just a matter of where you are in this.
I have to release control.
Yeah,
I
and by-
really want him to.
But he will, Dawn, by watching you and seeing how you live your life and you walking your talk. That's the best lesson for him.
Yeah.
At some time, it might be like, oh, what is mom talking about? It might not be today,
Yeah.
but you set a good example and you live what you're trying to do. So he'll see that, and
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he's moving back to New York, which
Holy cow.
Yeah,
Oh, you definitely got to give him
You
prashad
must
Yeah.
be
now.
so excited.
I am very excited. So now I get to spend more time.
Yeah.
You coming to Long Island?
He's going to be living more like in Long Island City. I think.
Okay. No,
'Cause
but
he
I'm
got
sure
a
he'll
job.
visit
He
you.
got a
Awesome.
job, yeah.
Mm.
He told
You'll
me.
definitely
Yeah.
spend more time
Yeah.
with him.
So maybe I'll have an opportunity to
Yeah.
get him.
Bring him a
Hook
plate.
him.
That Kadamba Cafe, my God, those things they post online.
Yeah.
I want to go back.
What cafe?
There's a cafe at the Brooklyn Temple they just opened up, and like the posts are I'll pull some up. They're freaking beautiful.
At the
Mhm.
Brooklyn?
Was it mostly like baked goods? I haven't looked at their posts.
Yeah, it's mostly like treats. I'm
Right,
gonna go
yeah.
and have a meal.
I like
but-
their smoothies, but honestly, they should never have gotten rid of Govindas, I think.
No, I think that
They-
was a mistake.
I think, every devotee community, that you need at least like one divey restaurant that's
yeah.
cheap for everyone to get access to.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's all prasadam. It's always.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Well, I'm on a mission.
Good. We should all be on a mission.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's good.
Do we feel like we're ready to move on? To the next
I'm
one?
ready. Everyone is okay.
Yeah.
Dehi nityam avadyo yam dehe sarvasya bharata tasmat sarvani bhutani natvam sochitumarhasi. O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body is eternal and can never be slain. Therefore you need not grieve for any creature. Purport. The Lord now concludes the chapter of instruction on the immutable spirit soul. In describing the immortal soul in various ways, Lord Krishna establishes that the soul is immortal and the body is temporary. Therefore, Arjuna, as a Kshatriya, should not abandon his duty out of fear that his grandfather and teacher Bhishma and Drona will die in the battle. On the authority of Sri Krishna, one has to believe that there is a soul different from the material body, not that there is no such thing as soul or that living symptoms develop at a certain stage of material maturity resulting from the interaction of chemicals. Though the soul is immortal, violence is not encouraged, but at the time of war, it is not discouraged when there is actual need for it. That need must be justified in terms of the sanction of the Lord, and not capriciously. End of purport. So, what is being said here is like, yes, Krishna encouraged Arjuna to fight, but it's not like, hey, we're eternal. We're just taking these, going from body to body, and we're just changing clothes. Let's just, go and kill people. We can't do that. It can't be done capriciously. This was done under the direction of Krishna. The I think we discussed this before. Kurukshetra was a place of pilgrimage. It was a special spiritual place, auspicious place. It was specifically chosen because it had that effect that when people would leave their bodies there, that there would be some benefit for those souls that were there. It was specially prepared. Yeah. And the fact that, the Kauravas were among the very strongest of the Kshatriyas. I mean, everybody, the Pandavas and the Kauravas both, they had the teachings of Dronacharya. Dronacharya was one of the greatest teachers. I mean, he was taught by Parashuram, who was, a great warrior who previously killed a lot of the corrupt Kshatriyas in the past. So, and he was a direct incarnation of Krishna in the Dasa avatar. So he came from an immaculate lineage, and he was teaching the art of war to the Kauravas.
And Pandavas too.
And yes, both of them. But the Pandavas were just, but the Kauravas were
corrupt, and dirty.
Yeah, they were corrupt, dirty, disgusting. They tried to disrobe and assault Draupadi, and they did so many. They tried to dice game thing. Yeah, they wanted to. They manipulated what's his name, Yudhisthira, they,
Shakuni's fault.
yeah, yes, that's right.
He was whispering behind everybody's ears and like gossiping and trying to get people to like go against each other.
You're
Who
right.
was doing that?
Shakuni.
Was he one of the Kaurava? Was he one of the brothers?
He was like the uncle.
Oh, the uncle,
He
right?
was
That's
the
true.
cousin. He was the uncle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Weren't they trying to like kill Bhima?
Yes.
Even before
This is
the
this
whole-
this is
They were
very
horrible.
dishonorable.
Right.
They couldn't even fight Bhima in person. They had to resort
Like
to try to
poison
poison
him,
him because
right.
they knew they couldn't defeat him. I mean, when you have people like this who are holding themselves out as Kshatriyas and they have like superior combat training, you know, that these are dangerous people. They needed to be neutralized.
Right.
And they weren't willing to like just say, oh, you know, you're right. The Pandavas have legal right. We're just going to step aside and we're going to have our stuff. And, you know, the Pandavas are going to take over because that's the just thing. No, they said, like, we don't even want the Pandavas to have, like, one pin of land,
Right,
like the
they
hair,
weren't willing to
like
the
negotiate
top of
the
at
needle,
all,
yeah.
Any peace or
Mhm.
any,
the zero compromise.
right.
And
And it was because they feared them, like because
Yeah.
they knew they were so.
Right.
They knew Krishna was on their side.
right,
Yeah.
They
And-
should have known better, but
right.
I think they were just blinded by greed.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing, their lust
Greed.
was so bad that
Yeah.
nothing could stop them. You
Right.
know, it's like they were just gonna try and get whatever they could as fast as they could.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't care
what
who
was
they
their
were.
origin story? Like, their mother, like, she got like steel balls inside her
She
womb
was
or
pregnant
something,
for a long time, and then
Yeah.
Kunti had her babies, and then she got really jealous, and she like pounded her stomach.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
And
that's
then
right.
A lump of flesh came out, and out of that lump of flesh, the 100 Kurus, all the
Right.
evil Kurus.
Oh, great. Oh, God.
Yeah, and then when, when
I'm sorry.
it's crazy.
I'm trying to imagine that in my mind's eye.
Yeah, right, like you just imagine them like
Yeah.
staggering about.
Screaming.
Yeah,
That's a dark
screaming.
origin story.
I don't even want to like tell you what I saw.
Right, I see it in my mind too.
It can't describe that.
How did he get blind again, her husband? Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember. But
Oh.
she voluntarily became blind.
Right.
I think he. Oh yeah, Shiva. Well,
was
you know,
born
no, I can
blind.
tell you why. I
He
can
was-
tell you
he
why.
was born blind because when he was born, that's when all the donkeys were braying and stuff.
Oh, he was born blind because Vyasadeva
Because
was.
Vyasadeva, that
Right.
she closed her eyes,
Right, she
right?
closed her eyes.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and the other one kept her eyes open, but she was pale,
She got
Right.
pale, so
and that's
he
why
was like-
Pandu was pale.
Vidur was the best of the bunch there.
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
Mm.
True that.
What a
Mm,
family.
what a family.
Yeah, man.
Right.
It's the ultimate dysfunctional family.
Right.
It really is about
Right.
greed.
Even
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
break it down, it's
Yeah.
so true. Like
Yeah. I mean-
it's so many families.
You know,
out there.
I just had this idea. I feel like you could just make like a mock, what's the word? Like a mock reality show with the Pandavas and the Kauravas.
Yeah.
That you could really teach a lot of souls like that.
We
I
did something
know.
like that with the
Mhm.
Greek pantheon recently.
Yeah.
It's like
Mhm.
that guy from Cheers in it.
Oh.
What's his name?
Ted Danson?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
yeah.
Yes. I want the Ted Danson plane. Sorry. I couldn't resist.
I remember when I was reading the Mahabharata, that's all I could think about
Mhm.
is how could I be more like the Pandavas? Like that's what I really took out of it. Like
Mhm.
everything they went through,
Mhm.
everything they still were like,
Mhm.
you know,
Right.
so close to Krishna.
Sama. They were Sama through everything.
Through everything.
Yeah.
No matter what, they just took it and were like, well, this is part of it, and you know, they never went off that path.
and then they just walk to the Himalayas to leave their bodies. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand that family. It's like so
I know.
above like our lives. And
I know. Amazing.
Reading, listening to the Ramayana. I'm fine. I'm really struggling. I've
You're
been
still on it?
listening
Oh.
for so long.
Do you know what you can do? There is an anime that they made in Japan a while back. It's like about 2 hours. You can watch that. You basically get the gist of it.
Yeah.
Where I tried looking for it, and I don't know if I was on the right one. So where did you watch it? Because I tried searching it through like.
I think it disappeared for a while, then it reappeared. It is on YouTube.
Okay.
I'll find the link right after this
Okay.
is
Remember,
finished.
do you remember when we were at Super Soul, and then one of the guys, I think his name was Chris, was telling us there's a movie.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was
I
called.
know, and I tried searching it, and then I started watching something either like.
I don't know if it was an anime thing, but it was
Yeah. But,
a
and,
movie.
yeah, and I'm not telling anyone like just to watch the anime and not to read
Yeah.
or listen to the audiobook, but I think if you watch the anime first and then do the book, it might make
Make more
things
sense.
it'll be simpler. Because I think the anime does not cover like maybe the very early happenings, like with the mother of Bharata like conspiring to keep like Rama off the throne and stuff like that. I don't think they put that in the movie. Yeah.
But for hours, I've just been listening to how they're battling the, what do they call it?
Ravana,
Ravana's demonic forces.
What are those
the
demons called?
Rakshasas.
Yeah.
Rakshasa just means demon.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I
It's,
just want to hear about Hanuman.
Of course.
Get to the good part. I get it.
Where's Hanuman?
I have to admit, like one of my favorite parts of the anime is when Lakshman gets hurt and then the Hanuman goes to the Himalayas and takes that part of the mountain and just brings it back.
Yeah, yeah.
Sanjeev.
Yeah, exactly. I like that part.
Yeah, he wanted to find the herb and he couldn't specifically find the herb, so he just picked up the whole mountain and brought it there.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love it. It's so expedient.
So is Lakshman considered
Yeah, I mean he's like Balaram. He's
okay, so
yeah. Like so Satchidananda. Sat is Krishna. Chit is the Guru Tattva who's also Balaram. And Ananda is can be like the bliss, but is also like Ladini Shakti, like Srimati Radharani or Sita in this case, yeah.
all right. When I lived in New Vrindavan, there was
Watch what magnesium does.
there was
Yes, let's learn more about magnesium now.
there was a theatrical group that put on the Ramayana, and they used the palace as Ravana's palace and everything. And I just found it. I'm going to send it to you
Oh,
guys.
awesome.
It's really it's very cute.
Ravana's palace is still a place you can go to in Sri Lanka.
oh really?
And at the bottom of the gate are these like two giant claws like this.
Have
should
you
look
been
it up.
there?
No, I just saw pictures.
Oh.
Is Sri Lanka like considered
A holy.
yeah, like I don't know, are they do the people from India like kind of not like them? Are they like kind of
That's a good question. I'm really not sure. I think there's a sizable Buddhist population there, so there may be
There's a
some.
lot of, there's a lot of Islamic people there too.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? I didn't
But
realize
so
that.
my one of the aides that works with my mom is from
Yeah.
Sri Lanka,
Uh huh.
but she's Christian.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
Christian, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of missionaries out
It's a very diverse place.
But when I said something to her about Hindu, she's like, no,
there.
no.
Because she's Christian.
Yeah.
Oh, like,
More of that
yeah.
probably than cultural.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Christians in South Asia, they're just they kind of stay away from Hinduism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also remember at my job, I worked with a big population, like the teachers and little kids were from India
Right.
and Bangladesh, and they all like had comments about each other. And Sri Lanka, there were a few from Sri Lanka, and they were like, "No, she's from Sri Lanka," like, you know.
There's always people like that.
Yeah.
I mean, in India, it's just people from one state to the other. No, I don't like those.
Okay.
Some people are just like that.
Yeah, I find that in the like Spanish
Oh my
community
God,
too. Like,
I know. We have like the
whatever.
girls at work and they're like, oh, she's Dominican.
Yeah, yeah,
What?
yeah,
Yeah. Like, don't go near her. she's
yeah, and they all know, like
Yeah.
the way their
Yeah.
name or something.
I
don't
know.
But anyway,
And we're like North Shore, South Shore. woman.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, right. Oh, these I
never
don't
go to the
associate.
South Shore.
I don't associate with South Shore people. I only associate with people from the Gold Coast.
That's right.
Road trip.
Yeah.
Oh, they're from out east. Okay.
Yeah, right, exactly. Oh, they're from Coram? No, I don't associate with people from Coram. Yeah.
I had a friend from North India that wanted to marry a South Indian lady. His parents like freaked out and wouldn't have it.
Were they both Hindu?
Kind of stuff. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Crazy.
There's a lot of shadism too. Like people from the South tend to have darker skin.
and they don't like being. They're like, I knew a lot of Indian women who would be like, I don't want to get any darker,
Yeah.
you know, to stay out of the sun because they think it's ugly
Yeah.
and.
Yeah, it's sad.
When I was
They should give their skin to me. 'Cause
Yeah.
I wanted to do
We're
it
trying to get darker.
when I was in my 20s, I used to read like the Indian matrimonial section, and all these women would be like, I have a wheatish complexion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A what?
Wheatish
Ah.
complexion.
It
Wow.
means like not too dark,
Right.
not too.
Yeah.
Like,
That was like a great selling point.
Yeah.
I told some people there, I'm like, because they would be like, when I was younger, like sometimes people on the bus would be like, it's like milk. I'm like, well, people from my country, they go in the tanning beds to try to make their skin dark like you.
Right.
And they're like,
Exactly.
you're kidding.
Yeah.
You've got to realize.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Mhm. Are we ready
you're
for?
not the body.
Right.
Grass is always greener.
Mhm. Yeah. Are we ready for text 31?
Yes, I am.
Svadharmamapi chavekshya navikampitum arhasid dharmyadi yudho shreyonyat kshatriyasya na vidyate. Considering your specific duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles, and so there is no need for hesitation. Purport. Out of the 4 orders of social administration, the second order for the matter of good administration is called Kshatriya. Shat means hurt. One who gives protection from harm is called Kshatriya. Trayate, to give protection. The Kshatriyas are trained for killing in the forest. A Kshatriya would go into the forest and challenge a tiger face to face and fight the tiger with his sword. When the tiger was killed, it would be offered to the royal order of cremation. This system is being followed up to even up to the present day by the Kshatriya kings of Jaipur state. The Kshatriyas are specifically trained for challenging and killing because religious violence is sometimes a necessary factor. Therefore, Kshatriyas are never meant for accepting directly the order of sannyas or renunciation. Non-violence in politics may be a diplomacy, but it is never a factor or principle. In the religious law books, it is stated, Ahavesu mito nyonyam jigat santo mahik sita. Yudha mana param satya svargam yanti apara mukha. Yagyasu Passavo Brahman Hanyante Satatam Dvijay Samkrita Kila Mantrayas Chate Pi Svargam Avapnuvan. In the battlefield, a king or Kshatriya, while fighting another king envious of him, is eligible for achieving heavenly planets after death, as the Brahmanas also attain the heavenly planets by sacrificing animals in the sacrificial fire. Therefore, killing on the battle on the religious principle and the killing of animals in the sacrificial fire are not at all considered to be acts of violence, because everyone is benefited by the religious principles involved. The animal sacrificed gets a human life immediately without undergoing the gradual evolutionary process from one form to another. And the Kshatriyas killed in the battlefield also attain the heavenly planets, as do the Brahmanas who attain them by offering sacrifice. There are two kinds of svadharmas, specific duties. As long as one is not liberated, one has to perform the duties of that particular body in accordance with religious principles in order to achieve liberation. When one is liberated, one's svadharma, specific duty, becomes spiritual and is not in the material bodily concept. In the bodily conception of life, there are specific duties for the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas respectively, and such duties are unavoidable. Svadharma is ordained by the Lord, and this will be clarified in the 4th chapter. On the bodily plane, Svadharma is called Varnashram Dharma, or man's stepping stone for spiritual understanding. Human civilization begins from the stage of Varnashram Dharma, or specific duties of the specific modes of nature of the body obtained. Discharging one's specific duty in any field of action in accordance with Varnashram Dharma serves to elevate one to a higher status of life. End of purport. The one thing that kind of jumped out at me here is that it says when one is liberated, one's svadharma, specific duty, becomes spiritual and is not in the material bodily concept. So what this means to me is, like, there are two possible things this can mean to me. Like, the first is you will go to Vaikuntha and hopefully Goloka, because that's what our Gaudiya Vaishnavism, we want to go to Goloka. We want to have the direct association and service of Radha and Krishna in the spirit of Vrindavan. And then we will have a specific ras. We've talked about the 5 rasas, and there will be a specific service that we have. Now, this is not something that you just, you pick up on. I know they have these so-called sadhus called, the Babajis that hang out at Radhakund, and they'll take you on the side and you say, "You are Rasgula Manjari. Don't tell anyone, and you will make flower garlands, but don't tell anyone. This is very confidential." And then another Westerner comes, like, "Come on over here. Don't tell anyone, but you're Rasgula Manjari, and you're going to make flower garlands in Goloka." And this has happened in the past, that they tell people specifically, and they say don't tell anyone, but once they actually do tell each other and compare notes, they find out, oh, wait a minute, I'm Rasgula Manjari. How can you be Rasgula Manjari? Right? So like, the point I'm trying to make is, like, these things, you can't, what do you call it? It's not something, it comes with, you have to be extremely highly advanced to know exactly who you are in the spiritual world. So it's not something we should even aspire to know, like, right now. I mean, I guess there might be it might be healthy to even kind of desire a specific mood with Krishna, but in that case, just keep it private. It's not something to be talking about in public. But I think that's what it means when he says that specific statement. And then also, like, not only your service in Goloka or in Vaikuntha. I mean, it's like, for example, when Prabhupada came to here, he was obviously a liberated soul, and he gave us the, he came a very long way, if not did the whole thing in fulfilling Mahaprabhu's prophecy of every town and village singing the holy names of Krishna. I mean, that was a great service to, even Prabhupada's guru's father said, that's Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he said, my work is unfinished. And he was lamenting. He was elderly, he was in his 70s, and he was telling his servant, get me a horse. I want to go out and preach. He had such a strong feeling. He wanted to help people so bad. So
He was still dictating on his deathbed.
Right, exactly.
Prabhupada you talking about?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is also like the service.
He wasn't on the horse, it was Bhaktivinoda.
Yeah, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was the horse, and then the Prabhupada on the dictaphone. Yeah, well, he was like translating his books or whatnot. So, I mean, that's another service that a fully liberated soul can take in the material world. It's preaching, but it's preaching on a grand scale, like being such a prolific preacher that they're talking about you hundreds of years later and distributing your literature, that kind of thing.
And that's what the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya pretty much. There's so many people like that. You know, we have Lord Chaitanya, we all know, but we also have Bhaktisiddhanta students, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Most of the chants or songs that you sing in the temple were written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who also had 11 children.
Yes.
And worked in the government. It wasn't like he was just sitting around thinking about Krishna. He had an active life.
Right.
As a magistrate in the community, but he also saw like the importance. You can't just have civil law, you have to have the philosophy to back up civil law. And I forgot what my point was.
Well, I guess then from him that he had
that all our
children
teachers, like if you go back, like all the teachers had like some great input on humanity. Like the first time I went to India, there were billboards on the side of the road with Bhaktisiddhanta and Srila Prabhupada by the highway because they had just issued a postage stamp with Bhaktisiddhanta on it because that's how much he did, and shook culture.
Right.
So yeah, it's like our lineage really has those examples. I really forgot. I had a different point.
Siddhanta leave his body.
1937, January 1937.
And how old was he?
He was like high 60s, I think 68, but I can't be sure, but he was in his 60s, which is, surprisingly young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The clock stopped in his room the moment he departed.
Oh, wow.
It's still there.
Oh, that just.
I got chills.
Yeah. And he was
things like that, pure devotee.
Yes, exactly.
Evidence.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And he was the son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had a job. Yes, he had 11 children, but one of those children ultimately was the teacher of Prabhupada, who basically was Jagat Guru, Vishwa Guru. He was teaching the entire world. Yeah.
It's like once you start thinking about all that, you see like this lineage it's special, like there really are special teachers in this lineage.
Yes.
And the 6 Goswamis, and it's not just, some guy from India came over in the 60s.
Yeah.
He followed a line that influenced his life and his father's life, and I don't think we have anything to compare it with in our culture. I really don't. We don't have examples like this to follow. Not religious or political, but I feel like these guys played a political role in a sense because of the lives they lived, and they weren't just like reclusive yogis. They were very active, and they did impossible tasks in an impossible time, Like Lord Chaitanya, he was in a Muslim environment chanting Hare Krishna. And Prabhupada, what did Prabhupada do? He came to America, to the most degraded part of the city, with junkies and turned people into devotees, and then went around the world and opened up temples. You know, like, who does that? And will anyone ever do that again? Who knows? You know?
Right. Well, you
It's
know,
crazy.
I think in 1971 it was either the appearance or disappearance of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And I think it was, I'm not sure who made that point. It might have been, what was that? Oh boy. Anyway, it doesn't really matter who said it, but some, you know, like they started that thing where he said Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, my work is unfinished. And then Prabhupada said, so let us finish it. And he says that if Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted to finish it, he could have, because he's Vaishnava, he's all powerful. But the reason he did not finish it was purely out of mercy. It's our duty to finish it. We get the remnants of that service. In the same way, like when you go to the temple and like the pujari for the deities, they'll give you a little dish, or say like at the Bhakti Center, they give you like a little paper bowl with some fruit in it. It's like they'll say, this is Mahaprasad, would you like some? That's like literally, that's the Mahaprasadam is the remnants of the deities, for example. So that's like extra special prasadam with extra. So like getting the remnants of service, that's like Mahaprasadam. So, you know, when we even like these efforts here, like we're not on the scale of Prabhupada right now, but this is the frontier right now. What we're doing right now is the frontier. We're not in the temple. This is, you know, it's a very spiritual place. It's a yoga studio, but we're not like in a temple. And we're teaching Bhagavad Gita right now. That's really special, you know. We are right now taking the remnants of that seva right now.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to Prabhupada's children? He had children too, right?
Yeah, they
Isn't
weren't as
his
strict as
son,
him.
one of his sons still.
I think one of them passed away like 7 years ago, and like he looked just like Prabhupada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think.
But they had no.
They didn't follow him.
He maintained his house in Calcutta.
Isn't that funny? You're worried about your son.
Yeah.
Look at someone like Srila Prabhupada. He couldn't convince his wife or his kids to like be as serious as he was. But look
Even
at that.
Prahlad Maharaj.
Yeah, look at Prahlad Maharaj. Perfect example. His father was a and he was such a devout devotee, but could he convince his father? No, because his
couldn't
father.
convince his son either. His son stayed a demon.
That's right.
His son did?
Yeah,
Prahlad's son?
yeah. So like, you can only do what you can do, and you can open the door for him, but don't be disappointed.
Yeah.
You know,
Or
he might wake up one day. Like I always hope one day I do or say something that my kids will go, oh shit, me. I mean, they have said that. When I started teacher training, there was such a shift in me. They're like, whatever you're doing, continue doing it. And now it's like,
They wanted it for you, but not themselves.
yeah,
Right.
because they saw a change, a positive change in me. And even now, like, they love to hear that I'm going to the temple. Can I get them to come with me?
Yeah.
Donkey's fine. I know, if there's a festival, like if my daughter's in New Vrindavan and there's a festival, she'll go with me. But when
And they grew up there.
yeah.
So.
But you know, if she comes here, can I drag her to the temple? It's
Yeah.
not going to be the priority of the trip.
What time is it?
I did put my phone down.
Hold on, I got my phone.
So is it on the,
The time is 9:41 a.m.
Oh, okay.
you want to wrap? Where are we next?
We have one verse. The purport is relatively short.
Okay, let's do it.
We can try it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yadrichaya chopapanam svargadvaram apavritam sukhina kshatriya partha labante yuddhamidrisham. O Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of the heavenly planets. Purport. As supreme teacher of the world, Lord Krishna condemns the attitude of Arjuna, who said, "I do not find any good in this fighting. It will cause perpetual habitation in hell." Such statements by Arjuna were due to ignorance only. He wanted to become non-violent in the discharge of his specific duty. For a Kshatriya to be in the battlefield and to become non-violent is the philosophy of fools. In the Parasara Smriti, or religious codes made by Parasara, the great sage and father of the Vyasadeva, it is stated, "Kshatriyo hi praja rakshan shastrapani pradandayan, nirjitya parasaindyati shitim dharmena palayat." The Kshatriya's duty is to protect the citizens from all kinds of difficulties, and for that reason, he has to apply violence in suitable cases for law and order. Therefore, he has to conquer the soldiers of inimical kings, and thus, with religious principles, he should rule over the world. Considering all aspects, Arjuna had no reason to refrain from fighting. If he should conquer his enemies, he would enjoy the kingdom, and if he should die in the battle, he would be elevated to the heavenly planets where doors were wide open to him. Fighting would be his benefit in either case. End of purport. So, I mean, I think this is a little bit difficult for us to intuitively swallow because we're living in a world where we're told, at a very young age, we can be anything we want. We can become a scientist, the president of the United States. We can become a pop star, anything we want. The sky's the limit. But in Dvarpa Yuga, the Varnashram Dharma was in full force. If you were born a Kshatriya, then you were bound to these codes of conduct, and this was your responsibility. Yeah, so that's basically it. I mean, Arjuna, he was raised a Kshatriya, and he had to preserve law and order. He was trained to do that. That's why Drona was his teacher, so he could become not only just a great ruler, but just a great force of being able to overcome any situation, in tactical or strategy or combat, anything like that. He was ready to overcome any difficulty. And he was given that training so that one day, if he had to kill even his own relatives, then he'd have to do it.
Which is exactly what happened.
Right.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Varnashram Dharma system is, even though people say the caste system doesn't exist, it does exist in India. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of it has to do with geography. Mm-hmm. Because if you're born into a Sudra family, a family that farms or, does manual labor, you're going to live on the outside of the city. And your chance of coming into the city for education is nil. Mm-hmm. You don't have the clothes, you don't have the transportation, you don't have the time, because you're fetching water, you're planting a field. So there's that. And then there's the Brahmins. And are the Brahmins going to accept those Sudra people to elevate themselves and become priests and be clean? No, they're not. It's very cut off. And the Vaishyas are the business people, and they're very, business in India is very different than it was during these times. So I feel like the consciousness is faster for the Vaishyas than it was in the beginning of time. And Kshatriyas, what are they? They're the police and everything. Mm-hmm. But I feel like just the geography and the wealth and poverty of India creates a caste system. Mm. And correct me if this is I mean, if we want to be, I think there was a study made recently that in America is the most, there's the most income disparity in the entire developed world. So the so-called first world countries, America has that biggest disparity. And that means if you're born poor, you're most likely going to die poor. And that's a tough pill to swallow. I mean, they call America the land of opportunity, but
you know, that realistically, that opportunity is not so much there. So, I mean, America is kind of bound to a caste system of its own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're.
I was thinking that we have it, just
Mm-hmm.
not called that.
Right,
Exactly,
right.
that's right.
It's not PC.
Yeah, but except the makeshift caste system of America is not based on Vedic principles or
Right.
spiritual dharma of anything like that.
Right.
Yeah,
It's based on greed, basically.
Yeah, and the Varnashram Dharma, it's based on everyone had a specific dharma, a specific purpose, you know. But yeah.
Exactamundo.
You know what I have a hard time with though also
Please.
in these stories, the Mahabharata and the Ramayana, they're killing the animals left and right. You know, the elephants, and he cut off the elephant's legs, and he killed the horses, and and I'm like, why? What, you know?
You know what I was thinking of when we were reading this? Like, okay, the Battle of Kurukshetra was over.
There she is.
Bodies, dead
How are
elephants.
you?
Look, what happened? Did they set everything on fire?
That's a good question. I would imagine they did, but
Because there were millions of people.
you know, before the battle was even finished, people were just slipping on the blood. It was that
They were
bad.
what?
They were slipping on the blood. I remember reading that, and
Wow.
I read the Mahabharata like one time over 20 years ago. That's one of the details that stuck in my mind. Yeah.
How are you? Good to see you.
You haven't seen me in a while. Nice.
I don't know
So.
if I'm staying. Yeah,
Are we?
I'm like,
Is class
In my
dismissed?
I guess so.
Okay, the class is ended. Let us
Go
go
in
in peace and
Thank
serve
you.
Radha and Krishna.
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah.